Good afternoon. Let us start today's new model, Model 5, which talks about isometric projections. So, this isometric projections is very essential in engineering aspects because it plays a very important role. Okay, so until unless a engineer does not know how isometric projections are there, he cannot draw the 3D diagrams. So for 3D diagrams, top view, front view, and side view are all combined together. So because of that, a view of the object will be in 3D, because of which a clarity will be very more, and because of that, you get more clarity of the object. So let us tell what is isometric projections. It is a type of pictorial projection in which all three dimensions of an object are shown in one view, and if required, their actual sizes can be measured directly from it. Mean to say, it is a pictorial view where you can see the front view, side view, and the top view are combined together, and all the three angles are equally inclined. The coordinate system XYZ, what we talk, those things are equally inclined exactly at 120 degrees. So 3D diagram can be drawn in numerous ways, like drawings and photographic, or pictorial drawings like diametric, trimetric, isometric, pictorial, perpetual. All these things are in different ways. Among them, isometric is also one of the type. In this three-dimensional object drawing, all three dimensions are maintained at equal inclinations, which with each other. The angle between two coordinate system, x and y, will be 120 degrees, y and z will be 120 degrees. Similarly, z and x will be 120 degrees. So only it is called as isometric projections. Isometric projections means iso means equal, metric means measurements, equal measurements, projections. That's the meaning of isometric projections. Okay. So in the last class, when you are drawing the solid diagonal problem for hexahedron, in the hexahedron problem, you made solid diagonal perpendicular to VP. For that, in the third portion, you made solid diagonal parallel to both HP and VP. And in the fifth portion, you made perpendicular to VP. When you see the solid diagonal perpendicular to VP, in the sixth position, in the final view of the object, you could see the three lines which is visible to you are equally inclined to 120 degrees each. If you measure those three lines, it will be exactly 120 degrees each. That is how we represent the isometric projection. See, this is the diagram. This is how the 3D view of the object looks like. This is what you are drawn in solid hexahedron problem. This line, this one, and the one. This x-axis, this y-axis, and z-axis are equally inclined to each other. Equally inclined to each other. This is what the isometrics is all about. Okay. So if you see this object, the gray color object is a part of a machinery part, and that is having seen here. In the top view, you can see only the top view of the object. In the front view, you can see the front portion of the object. Similarly, in the side, you can see the side portion of the object. If all the three are merged together at 120 degrees each, then you can see a beautiful image which will give you more clarity of the object. Here, even the internal parts can be seen clearly. That is the beauty of isometric projections. So applications, where all these applications are there. If you see this object, it is a wheel of a car or a four-wheeler. It is an exploded view of the machine assemblies or a part of the machine assembly. This is the wheel where you fix the tire. And this is the brakes. You can see wheel cylinder, back plate, all these things. So all this is an exploded view. This is drawn in 3D, that is isometric projections. You can see where exactly each part will be located. In front view, it is not possible to see all these parts. The internal parts cannot be seen in the orthographic view, that is the front view or the top view or the side view. You have to write separately. Whereas in isometric view, this is the beauty of this particular projections, where even the internal parts, these are the internal parts, you can see, this is the internal parts. Shoe hold spring. You cannot see this thing in the front view. It will be very overlapped because this spring is here. This small nuts, the linings cannot be seen clearly. So in isometric view, it is very clear. It gives an engineer more versatile of understanding of the object. So this is the exploded assembly of a machine element. Maybe it's an automobile machine element. This is one more same way to make you understand how exactly the isometric view of the object looks like. Not only in machine assemblies or parts you are using this isometric projections, even in drawings like building constructions. The building constructions are also drawn through isometric view so that you get more clarity in the object. The elevation, the plan. The elevation part is called as front view. The plan is called as top view. Especially civil engineers, they talk about elevation and plan. When you're constructing a house, you might have seen your parents talking about elevation and plan. Plan is the blueprint of the building, what you're going to construct in future in the given area, whereas the elevation is the front view of the object or of the building, which looks very elegant. Maybe you can have some decorations where the windows are coming, where the portico comes, what design you're making in the front. All the stuff will be in the front view. This portion, so you can see there's a clock here, and there's a door, the windows, and this is the front portion, right? Front portion of the building. This is called as elevation part of the building. Elevation. This is called as elevation part. The top view, you can see this is the top view. This portion is called as top view. Every floor will have a different plans. Front, basement, ground floor, first floor, second floor, or so on. So each and every floor diagrams will have blueprints. They're called as plan. We call it as top view. As an engineer, you call it as top view. Generally, as an civil engineer, you call it as plan. Okay, that is how it is being used. Similarly, this is also majorly used. The isometric projections are majorly used in piping layout. Piping. You can see there are lots and lots of components. If you especially talk about Kuwait, Arabic countries and all, where they talk about the pipes, where petrol will be sent from the petrol wells to the different parts of the factories. Okay, so here you can see there are few containers. You can see oil fuel container, it's here. From there you can see there are motors here placed. There's a driven fuel burner here. All these things are there, and how they are been linked. You can see the linking process. For this process, we use this piping layout or isometric projections. Isometric projections are used through X, Y, Z, along with the east, west, north, south directions, up and down, left and right. These are the things will be used in the isometric projections. Okay. Next, talking about the isometric axes and the planes and the lines. If you see the three lines AX, AY, and AZ are meeting at a point A, making 120 angles with each other, are called as isometric axes. Isometric axis. AX, AY, AZ. Isometric axis. The line parallel to these axes are called as isometric lines. I can take this line, I can take this line, I can take this line, or this one. Either I can take this one or the other one. So all these lines are called as parallel lines. For AX, this is parallel line. For AY, this is parallel line. For AZ, these are the parallel lines. That is how we represent. The plane representing the faces of the cube as well as the other plane parallel to these planes are called as isometric planes. This one, if you take this plane, it is one particular plane with respect to parallel to x-axis line. This plane is parallel to y-axis line, and this plane is parallel to z-axis plane. Okay, that is how we represent the planes. So we have to understand what is the importance of isometric scale. Here, isometric scale we are considering because it is a small, there's a small deviation between the actual scale and the isometric scale. When here what happens is the actual scale is drawn exactly. We'll talk about in the next slide about isometric projections and isometric views. When you draw exact dimensions of the object with the same angle 120 degrees each on all the three coordinate system, and if you're drawing exact shape and size of the object, that is called as isometric view. Whereas isometric projection is the projections drawn of the object. That will be reduced scale of 0.8164. It is 0.8164, or you can take 0.815, sorry, 817. Okay, that is how you can minimize it. But 0.8164 is the generalized notations will be used for reducing the scale from actual scale to isometric scale. I'll talk about isometric scale in the next slide. You will understand why exactly it has been reduced. Okay, when one holds the object in such a way that all the three dimensions are visible, then the process, all dimensions become proportionally inclined to observer's eyesight, and hence appears apparent in lens. You can see in this view, this is at an angle, this is at an angle, this is also at an angle. So they are mutually inclined at 120 degrees. So when you see this at an angle, right? So because of that, it is reduced, not exactly straight line. They are angled at 30 degrees here, angled at 30 degrees here. So for that reason, it is called as apparent lens. So only in projections, isometric projections will have apparent lens. Isometric views will have actual lens. Okay. So measure this, reduce scale. You have to memorize this 0.8164. It is 0.8164. Keep in your mind. You have to reduce the scale when drawing the isometric projections. While drawing the isometric projections, it forms and reduces scale which is used to draw isometric drawings, and it's called as isometric scales. Okay, now how do you draw this isometric scale? This is very essential because while drawing square, triangle, it is very easy, or rectangle, it's very easy to draw. Whereas when you're drawing pentagon, hexagon, or other curved surfaces, or having some other dimensions, it is must that you have to use this isometric scale, because the dimensions can be measured straight away here and you can draw it. How do you make this isometric scale? It's better in the examination if you draw this isometric scale, taking few minutes. It will be very easy for you people to draw. Depending upon the problem what you get, you have to think whether you have to draw this isometric scale or not. If you have got, say for example, a square, cube, and a prism, a rectangle prism, then you did not draw this particular isometric scale. Whereas if you get pentagon, hexagon, or a frustum of a cone or something like that, then you need to draw this isometric scale. How do you draw it? First, draw OX line. OX line you have to draw first. After you draw OX line, OS center, you have to draw one more line at 30 degrees. This line at 30 degrees, you can see. This is called as isometric scale. Okay, this is called as isometric scale. From OS center, you have to draw one more line at 45 degrees line. This line is called as 45 degrees line. You can see I have shown a scale here because it is showing the actual dimensions. You have to keep the scale on this line and mark 1, 2, 3, 4 as I marked here, right? It is 1 centimeter here. This is 1 centimeter. This is 1 centimeter. This is 1 centimeter. This is also 1 centimeter. That is how you have to mark it. First, you have to mark it, graduate the line so that it becomes easy for you to locate the dimensions. If I tell a square of 30 mm, then you can measure 30 mm here and then reduce the scale here. You can draw it. That is how it will be doing it. So let me tell you how it is done. First, draw OX line, horizontal line. Then OS center, draw one more line at 30 degrees to OX line. Draw one more line from OS center to OX line at 45 degrees. At 45 degree angle line, it is called as actual scale. You're keeping the exact measurements of the scale on this line. And then what you have to do is you have to project the lines perpendicular to OX line. Perpendicular to OX, you can see these lines. The red lines which is shown here, they are perpendicular to OX line. And you can see they are cutting at this point on O, a 30 degree angle line at this point. It's cutting, it's touching, right? This is the point, this point, you can see. These points are touching the 30 degree angle line. So isometric scale in sense, if I talk about 1 centimeter or 10 mm, then I have to measure for isometric scale this distance on the 30 degree angle line. I'm not measuring exact actual scale, but I'm measuring the isometric scale. I can take the divider or the compass, OS center and 1 here. This length I have to take it. This length I have to take it to measure the isometric scale length, that is 0.8164, or rather 10 mm is equal to 0.8164 mm. You can take it that way. Okay. If you want to measure 30 mm, actual scale is from here to 023. This is the actual scale, whereas I am reducing it into 0.8164. So 30 mm into 0.8164 will be this distance from O to this line on the 30 degree angle line. This distance, this will be exactly less than 30 degrees. It will be in isometric scale. You're not supposed to draw this way, these lines. You draw exactly perpendicular lines to OX lines. Keep in your mind, perpendicular lines to OX line. Only then you get the isometric scale. This you have to construct, not this scale should be constructed. OX line should be constructed, 30 degree angle line could be constructed, and 45 degree angles to be constructed, and draw the gradations on the actual scale, and then draw vertical lines to OX line so that you get actual scale and isometric scale here. This is how you need to construct depending upon the problem. Okay. Now talking about the, as I told, isometric view and isometric projections. Okay. Isometric view drawn by the use of true scale or true dimensions. If this is 30 mm, this is 20 mm, and this is 60 mm, I am drawing exactly with the same dimensions. This is 30 mm, this is 20 mm, this will be 60 mm exactly. 30, 20, 60. Whereas when I draw isometric projections, then this will be reduced. This is 30 mm. 30 mm into 0.8164 will be the value of this length. 20 mm into 0.8164 will be the value of this length. Similarly, this length will be 60 into 0.8164 length. You have to multiply the given value with 0.8164. That will be reduced. That is called as reduction scale. Okay, that is how we draw the difference between isometric views and isometric projections. Okay, now let us draw attention about the points to remember. To draw the isometric projections, there are a few points you have to remember so that it becomes easier. Okay. One, In isometric projections, circles look like ellipse in all the views, whether it's front view, top view, or side view. You're drawing a circle. You take a bangle, you have a bangle, right? Or you can have the circle part of it. Any circular rings, you can take it. And if you just incline it at an angle, it looks like an ellipse. So in any view, front view, top view, side view, the circle looks like ellipse in the isometric projections. When you see it in the front view, top view, side view, in the orthographic view, it looks like circle. Whereas in the isometric projections, it looks like ellipse. Keep in your mind, whether it's front view, top view, or the side view. In isometric projections, circle looks like ellipse. First point you have to remember. Second point, four center method is used to construct the ellipse. I'll teach you how to draw it. Four center method. We use four centers to draw the ellipse of the circle in the isometric projections. Third one, in any plane surface has to be placed inside a box in its orthographic projections so that this box can be used to construct an isometric projections. If you are talking a pentagon or a hexagon or a square or a rectangle or a circle or any shapes that matter. So that shape of the object, when you're drawing it in the orthographic view, either the front view or the top view, that particular object has to be put in a box. If you remember, in the projection of solids, in the fourth position, the apparent view, what we used to draw in the top view, we used to put that in the box to reconstruct that same with respect to VP inclination, right? The same concept, you have to use it here. Any drawing you're taking, that has to be put in a box. When I solve a problem, you'll understand the importance of this box. Okay. Fourth one, no hidden lines are drawn in isometric projections. Isometric projections here, especially in isometric projections, this is a beauty. We don't have any hidden lines drawn. The hidden lines are removed. Axis line is not shown. Construction lines are removed, or you can keep it if you want. That is the beauty. You can just keep only the object. Rest, everything can be removed. That is the importance. Okay. No annotations are drawn in the isometric projections. In projection of solids, projection of planes, lines, in development and all, you have to specifically show the annotations A, B, C, D for top view, A dash, B dash, C dash, etc. for front view, A double dash, B double dash, C double dash, etc. for side views. Whereas in isometric projections, you need not to draw any annotations. That is the beauty of this isometric projections. But I'm showing with all the annotations just to make you understand. This point is very essential. No annotations are required. You can just simply remove all the annotations, remove hidden lines, remove constructions lines. Only the image if is drawn, that is sufficient with respect to isometric projections. Next, construction lines, you can keep it or you can remove it. That is also essential. Next, while drawing a sphere in any type or methods of projections, I'm talking about methods or types of projections. Orthographic projections is one type or method. Auxiliary plane view is one more type of or method of projections. Perpetual view, okay? You have pictorial view, all these different types are there. So using different types of methods to construct the diagrams we use, but sphere in any type of projections, it looks like a circle only. Sphere looks like circle only in any view, whether you take isometric, orthographic projections, isometric projections, diametric projections, trimetric projections, perpetual view, auxiliary plane view, etc., etc., etc. In every view, sphere looks like circle only. It will not change its shape or the size. That is the exceptional one point you have to remember. Sphere. Okay, sphere is totally different from circle. Circle is a ring. Okay, it's a ring type. You have got the circumference. Sphere, it is a solid object, right? It's a solid object. That is how we differentiate between the circle and the sphere. You have the dimensions. The circumference has some thickness, whereas sphere, it's not like that. It is completely engulfed with the outer surface of the circular part of it. Okay, so sphere looks like same. It does not change. It has got same shape. Okay. Next, a sphere is drawn as a circle in any type method of projections, as I told here. Okay. See, orthographic views, auxiliary plane view, perpetual view, pictorial view, dimetric view, trimetric view, or isometric view. Everything is it looks like a circle itself. Sphere will not change the shape. Okay. While using scale, especially for solid software, reduce scale to 0.8164, but accept sphere. This is very essential. You have to remember this point. Please remember this point. Point number 9 is very, very, very important. While drawing on the solid edge software, you can use scale down command. The scale command in the move, mirror, and all that command is there, right? That is there. Okay. That one, under that, you have got a scale command. This scale command can be used for every other what's called as plane surfaces or the object, except sphere. You should not try to use the scale command for sphere. If you use scale command for sphere, then it is a recurring concept in the software, and it will hang. System will hang out. So especially when you're doing examination, keep in your mind that you are supposed to exclude sphere problem, except sphere. Rest any part, if it is combined, you are combining a cube with sphere, you can reduce this cube, whereas not the sphere. Keep in your mind. I'll just show you when I'm going to solve the problem. Then you'll understand. Okay. So this is very important. Scale command is important in solid edge software because we're using solid edge software. So reducing scale except for sphere. Except for sphere is very, very important part. Next, most of the problems are solved by started through top of view. Generally, 90% of the problems, we use only the top of view projections. I'll tell you what is top of view, front view, side view in the next slides. So generally, whenever you are trying to draw a problem, you start with top of view. Except a few problems, most of the problems you can start with top of view itself. Okay, that becomes very easy to draw. Okay, let us start one of the problems. So we have another 8 more minutes. So if by chance this time elapses, you can go for recurring. You can use the same meeting ID and password for rejoining it. Okay. Isometric projections for plane surfaces. Planes, projection of planes, you know it. Same planes you're talking about. Planes, okay, surfaces, or laminas. Okay. Projection of planes, surfaces, or laminas. Okay. Let us start with 1. Orthographic projections. Orthographic projections. Generally, we start the orthographic projection of a plane and then we go for the isometric projection to make it very simpler. So let me start with XY line first. I'm drawing a construction of a square. Okay. A square lamina or a plane surface with 30 mm sides. Okay. This is how we draw a square, right? This is a square we draw, and this is of 30 mm. 30 mm here, 30 mm, 30 mm, 30 mm, and it will be 90 degrees on all the sides. Okay. I'll call this as ABCD. Only for your reference, I'm showing all these things. If not, the annotations are not required. For orthographic view, annotations are required, whereas for isometric, it is not required. Okay. Let me start with isometric projections. So how do you start it? Let me start with front view first. How do you draw a front view? To draw a front view, we use two lines, very important lines. One is horizontal line. Okay, we have to draw one horizontal line, and then we need to draw one vertical line. For front view, one vertical line, one horizontal line, and one 30-degree angle line is drawn. You can see I've drawn one horizontal line, I've drawn one vertical line, and I've drawn one 30-degree angle line. This vertical line is essential for front view. If you don't draw this vertical line, it becomes top of view. So don't forget, for front view, you need to draw the vertical line like this. Okay, you can see one horizontal line is drawn, 30-degree angle line is drawn, one vertical line is drawn for front view. Later, what we do is we measure our isometric projections. First, measure BC, this distance you have to measure, that is 30 mm. You have to convert this 30 mm into isometric projections. Measure 30 mm here, and then you have to reduce into isometric scale, right? So you have to take this distance. I'm moving the cursor. You can see it's coming here. From 30 mm, I'm coming down. This is the point. So this distance you have to measure now. Using a compass or a protractor, you can measure this distance on isometric scale. This point, the arrow mark is shown, right? That distance from O to this distance, you have to measure it, and then you need to draw it here. Okay, that is B and C. Okay, this distance is drawn here. Okay, now I'm talking about AB. AB is vertical line, this is horizontal, right? So I'm drawing AB line. Same thing, AB is measured at 30 mm. Same thing, I'm measuring this distance, I'm marking it here, it becomes AB. Okay, now very easy, you can complete the figure. Just copy this distance from here, draw an arc, project it. Copy this distance from here, draw an arc, we can project it like this. This line is parallel to this line. This line is parallel to this line. So drawing is very easy. Planes, especially when you're drawing it, it is very easy. For this line, if you draw one more line parallel from this corner, it becomes a rectangle. You can see a square here. BC to this point, you can draw it. So AB is parallel to CD. BC is parallel to AD. So that becomes a rectangle face. You can see the shape, this image is a reduced one, though it is seen bigger one. Only to make you understand, I've drawn it big, but take this distance in the isometric scale. This distance you have to take it, and you have to draw it here on the angled line of 30 degrees. Okay, then you can construct it. So this becomes the isometric projection of the front view. You can see this is the isometric projection of the front view. Okay, this is how we draw the front view of the isometric projection in the square part. Next, coming to the next one. Let us go with the same process, that is 30 mm square itself. Okay, 30 mm length. We go with isometric projections with the side view. Side view and front view are almost similar to each other. Only thing is the side where from you are seeing is totally different. Same horizontal line you have to draw, one vertical line you have to draw. For side view and front view, one vertical line is essential, very, very important. And then 30-degree angle line. Okay, 30-degree angle line. If I draw this side, becomes front view, or this side you can take front view. Anything, if this is front view, this becomes side view. If this is side view, this becomes front view. Either of the sides you can take into consideration. If I'm drawing this side the front view, this side becomes side view. If this becomes side view, this becomes front view. Vice versa. Same concept. I'm using isometric scale. Then I'm drawing the line, which I think about BC. Isometric projections line I've taken. That is 30 mm into 0.8164, and then measured it here. Same thing, 30 mm into 0.8164 here. and then 30 mm line, this line, 30 mm into 0.8164, you get one more drawn figure. Okay. I hope you have understood. Let me stop till here because time is running.